Okay, let me start with you. February of this year, a couple of days after Russia invaded Ukraine, the U.S. Geological Survey issued its critical minerals list for 2022. I know that's something you worked over the year leading up to, but this is a dramatic change. And since Russia's invasion, the United States, European Union, other industrialized nations have imposed a wide variety of sanctions on Russia. And there are some critical minerals that we get from Russia. In addition, companies in private sector have taken steps to reduce purchases of those products, including minerals from Russia. So with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, is that going to prompt the USGS to reconsider and expand its critical minerals list? We've had a couple of hearings in this committee in the last couple of weeks about the critical minerals and what's needed. And if so, let me know, and if not, why not?
Thank you, Senator, for that question, and very much appreciate the committee's attention to this important issue. As you noted, the critical minerals list, it is a snapshot in time and something that we are continuously reviewing the list. And I also want to emphasize the critical minerals list is not a list of all essential minerals. In other words, it is looking specifically at a set of criteria that includes supply chain disruptions and the impacts associated with that. So we will be continuing to look. We revise it on a regular standing basis, and we continue to do research on a wide range of minerals.
Thank you, Senator. I did one last question, Dr. Applegate, and it's something we talked about earlier, the critical minerals list, in light of your answer, that how we try to take a close look at that, and it modifies over time as things change. And it brings me to the issue of helium. So I raised the issue because the U.S. Geologic Service removed helium from its critical minerals list in February. We have now are experiencing a shortage of helium. And the shortage of helium is a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Algeria is the world's fourth largest helium supplier. And so it's producing less helium. Helium is a byproduct. It occurs in the process of liquefying natural gas. So with Algeria producing less helium because it's producing less liquefied natural gas, still producing natural gas, which it shipped by pipeline now to Europe as an alternative to Russian gas, but as a result, we're having less helium being produced as a byproduct of the chemical process here. So, I would just recommend and ask you consider, in light of these developments, which USGS needs to be constantly on top of, if you'd reconsider putting helium back on the critical minerals list.
Thank you for the question, Senator. And I have to admit, I'm having a bit of a sense of deja vu, because when I was a congressional fellow here 27 years ago, helium was one of the issues in the National Helium Reserve that I worked on. So there's nothing new under the sun, as it were. Helium is as I indicated, we continue to look at the different factors that go into that criticality determination, particularly with respect to supply lines. Obviously, the United States has a huge helium resources, as well as being an overall net exporter. So those are some of the drivers in terms of whether it made that list or not. But no question about it being an essential resource, and one that we will continue to look at in terms of its criticality.
Well, I think you have effectively pointed out the issues related to this critical minerals list and how it can change from time to time in terms of use of those minerals, as well as the impact of global activities and availability for use in the United States, and that's why it's critical to us. So.